This video is made possible by the E-Creator Network. And yes, as you can tell, as crazy enough as it is, crypto is invisible. Literally invisible. So what we're going to cover a lot today is a ton of changes that are coming with Apex Legends Season 22, all the buffs and nerfs that I was able to document and write down, and let's just jump right into it. This is crazy. I can't wait to show you guys some of just the raw reactions. This is going to be great. Now, real quick, if you want the Akimbo guide, as well as the guide regarding the gun shield generator, I have a dedicated guide in the description down below, as well as gameplay of the new map. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out. Now, here's another one, while we have Vantage here, is Vantage actually has been buffed. So the buff occurs at 50 damage. Oh, that seems normal. What is this? 125? Yes, Vantage Sniper has been buffed. When you hear about all the other changes, it makes sense why Vantage actually got buffed. So if you do headshots, wow, look at that. Headshots. But keep in mind, even if you hit somebody with red armor and they have a blue shield, they still have a little bit of HP left over. I'm going to showcase some of the footage here when I was testing it with macro. And so, but still, there's a lot of power behind it. And you're going to understand why this occurred for Vantage. And that's just, I think that's pretty awesome. Another big one. Okay, oh my gosh, this one we're going to have to get into. This one's pretty crazy. Wattson. Wattson has been buffed as well. This one's a little tricky, and I'm going to have to, you got to really listen to the words I'm saying, okay? Because this one is a little interesting, but it's still awesome. The power pylon, double ultimate's HP. That one seems normal, but the generator actually regenerates back anything that you've used. So I'm going to showcase that real quick, and I'm going to overlay the footage so you can compare the two as well. So I use a little bit of here. Let's take a look. This one's easier to show without overlaying footage. I'm not really worried too much about this one. So you top off and look at the speed. Notice the speed too, because this is important for the other pylon. Very, very important. So please, let's write down notes and say, okay, I took a mental note of that. But look at that. This will live forever. It just keeps recharging. Even if it's empty, it'll just keep recharging once everyone has used it. Keeps recharging. That is crazy. Now, let's use the other perk, and let's get rid of this one right here. I want to showcase the other one. And there's more that we're going to talk about with Wattson and Control Legends that you guys would be like, oh, right? All right. So the next one, double energies charge and recharge allies faster. Now, keep in mind, you don't have the HP, right? But now you double that charge. So I really think that this actually can kind of compete with Conduit, especially with just Wattson there. It's pretty nutty because Wattson's passive has already been buffed. We already kind of knew about that. But check this out. It has a different color too. But look how fast it is. Look how fast that is in the bottom left. Look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare a Conduit heal, and I'm going to showcase on screen right now one of the other ones. And the generators do look different. So we put them side by side. Let's slow this down. Side by side, one of them has this like light blue that you're seeing, and the other one has a, I guess, more of a clear blue, and then it has more of that stuff. So it's you can tell the difference between the two. This one blows up much faster. It's got a less of a health pool, but has a larger capacity, right? But it doesn't have that infinite. So here's the thing. If you're playing more aggressive Wattson, I think this actually works better because you can get emergency power and heal up relatively quickly and, hey, reset and then go again. But the other one is better if you're really anchoring and playing zone because you get pretty much just unlimited shields. It's unlimited economy. Literally, unlimited economy. That's crazy. Tell me that's not insane. Tell me that Wattson isn't going to be mad. Everybody who's a Wattson needs to literally comment down below right now and tell me that if I'm crazy or not, because that is crazy. That is insane. Now, okay, this gets even better. I bet you any pro who's watching is like, man, he's cracked out of his mind. Listen, I know, and you're about to freak out even more because every controller legend, okay, I'm done. All right, every controller legend, right? Let me show you. All you got to do is just show you. Let's say, okay, we're gonna rotate, guys. Let's go over to the next building. Look at my charges bottom left. Huh? Look at that. Oh, what just happened, guys? Oh, you know what? Actually, you want to set up this other one, but you need your charges back. All good. Let me just grab each and every one of those. Hey, guess what? Guess what? I have him back now. I have him back. It's all good. It's all good. You don't want to put that one down? Or maybe you're trying to do the door trick, right? Maybe you're trying to do the door trick, but you don't have enough fences, and you accidentally put two over here, and you put you out of fences, but you take this one, or maybe you take the one from a distance from another building. Let's say you put another node over here, right? And you do the door trick, but you're like, oh, my cooldown, though. My cooldown, what am I supposed to do? All good. Let's grab the one from over there. Boom. Well, do the fence trick properly, of course. But there it is. Crazy, right? That's insane. And guess what? Guess what? You can do this with every legend that is a controller legend. You can see it. Oh, grab my gas canisters. Let's pick those up. Let's put them over here. Let's put them over here. Guess what? Am I a mile away? Let's see. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to be super far away just so you understand the distance on this. As long as you can see them, because you can see them through walls at quite a distance as you're running. At this point, you would just pick them up as you're running outside the building, and then they disappear from view. And you go right there, and you can be able to pick them up. Boom, right here. Look at that. Let's just ping that so you see the distance. 75 meters. Look, all good. All good. I can just pick them up. Not a big deal. And that's insane. The only person who got Rampart can do this as well. As long as they're within that view and you can see them, then you can pick it up. Now, the interesting part about Rampart is that if somebody is behind cover, you can't bamboozle them. And it'll give you a notification like, hey, somebody's behind that cover, right? And then you can, you know, pick it up. But just so you have that knowledge, I'll overlay some of the footage so you don't, like, I guess, tease your teammates. But you can pick it up and get those charges back. That's really insane. The person who kind of got, and somebody's probably going to get semi-upset, like, what about Catalyst? Well, you kind of need to be able to be LOS and see it. If you can't see it, guess what? You can't pick it up. I'm sorry, Catalyst means. Listen, I mean, you got a lot of other power elsewhere, right? I mean, last season, you guys got a lot of power still in a certain way, but I guess it's a little bit of a trade-off there. So there is that. Now, controller legends as well, when they're in zone, they get something called overcharge. They gain 20 extra shield capacity while inside the current safe zone. So literally, if you land and you're in the zone, you actually gain immediately blue shield, essentially. It's crazy. You literally you get the shield. I don't know how else to tell you that's not crazy, but you have more HP. I see. That's why I tell you it makes sense why Vantage got her buff, because you have to counter the fact that some people are going to drop with just even more shield right off the rip. Now, if you're not a controller legend, then hey, I guess you're going to struggle a little bit more. But I'll showcase on screen. There's a Wattson on our team that had blue shield, but then it still said blue shield, but the caveat there, in game you have that now. I mean, you're going to see everyone talking about it. I'll showcase it over the screen, and we're going to get into it a little later. You're going to be able to see any of these health bars if you damage them. So that's something we're going to talk about a little bit. So let's keep rocking through these changes, okay? Because there's quite a few more. I mean, we're not even done yet. So Crypto, I know the meme. I'm just going to overlay the footage of a reaction, okay? I'm going to overlay the footage here.
Oh my God, off the grid. Crypto gets cloaked.
Oh, whoa.
When entering the drone.
Off the grid. You know what's funny? That's kind of the meme. Oh,
wait, you're no, get in your drone. I think you're invisible.
I am invisible. Yo, he got a buff off the grid. Literally, he's off the grid.
Imagine hiding in a tree with Crypto.
Oh no, he's the ultimate rat.
Dude,
he's the ultimate rat legend now.
There's no way. There's no way.
That is, look at this, Daz. That's crazy.
Look at me.
All right, let's see here. Go off the grid, bro.
Are you watching me right now?
Yeah.
Now you see me?
Time to go off the grid.
Now you don't.
Where did he go? Is he off the grid? Perhaps he could be off the grid.
I think
a good buff to Crypto would be to put him off the grid. If he's off the grid.
Here's a big question. Can I? Yeah. Wait. let me see if I can shoot you, so I know where you are. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Hit me. Let's see what happens.
Do I know where you are? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Here, I'll. Oh, okay. I'm right here.
Okay. Let me see if I can walk into you. Okay, I can feel your character model.
Okay.
I can see.
What happens if you shoot me? Oh, it took me out of it.
Okay, it does get you out of it if I find you.
Now, if you're my enemy, how come the drone isn't picking me up if I'm off the grid? Can I stay next to your drone? Or Bloodhound scan me. Bloodhound scan me and see if it picks me up.
Okay. Wait.
I'm off the grid now.
Okay, so let me try Bloodhound scanning you, right?
Yeah. See if it works.
Bloodhound.
Wait, what just happened?
I don't know.
Okay, go to Bloodhound scan me.
Where are you?
Do you see me? I saw ping. Yeah, that was me.
Is this you down here?
Yeah, that's me.
Why am I missing?
Oh,
there you are. He's back on the grid. Oh my God. Okay. Crypto just became the best recon legend in the game, and I don't know how I feel about that yet.
So if you were to build him, I just somebody pushes you, and all of a sudden you're just like, careful, guy, just hold, just rat. I'm off the grid.
Yeah, hold on. Can we do a skit like that real quick together? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Pretend I'll be in a building too.
Yeah, hold on. I'm chasing this goddamn Crypto. Get back, Crypto. There's nowhere to run.
Don't worry. You'll never find me because I'm off the grid. Where am I?
You?
Where am I? Hide and seek. Where am I, huh? Am I off the grid?
Oh my god.
Can you find me?
Where are you?
Do you know where I'm at? Dude, I'm actually in the most obvious spot ever. If that gives you a tip. Does that give you a tip? Actually, if you kill my drone, that is a good way to find me.
Wait a minute. Yes, you're right. Wait a minute. You'll be back on the grid.
I'm on the grid.
There you are. You were invisible this whole time. Dude, imagine Crypto hide and seek.
All right, so that was crazy. Crypto is insane with off the grid, just like we mentioned. Like, I mean, how many times do we keep mentioning it? It's really cool. You pretty much can play like a little bit of hot potato there, or, you know, and just be like, can you find me? I say hot potato, I guess hot, cold, you know what game I'm talking about. But I thought that's pretty interesting. It feels like a lot of my mains got buffed. I'm not gonna lie. There's so many different things here. Let's go ahead and showcase some of the next ones, such as like Seer. Seer's tactical, you can get 2 of them now, which I thought was pretty interesting. So essentially get 2 tactical charges. Now the downside is the silence is reduced by 50%. So there is that. Now, whether you like that or not, you can technically silence them twice and technically get the slow effect twice, or you can just hit 2 separate targets. Now, I do have the gold helm, so you kind of get the feel for the next tactical coming up. So you essentially can target one, and guess what? You can target another, and boom. Pretty interesting, right? That's pretty much what they did with Seer. Now, Alter is a little bit more straightforward and easy. Everyone knows they just put out the ultimate Alter guide. I've been spending a lot of time on Alter. Now, the perk over on the left, you gain access to ring consoles. I don't got to say much more than that. That one's pretty straightforward and pretty awesome. And with Void Vision, I'm going to be honest, when you're doing damage to opponents, now this perk has a little less power. You still have the power of coming through initially and seeing it, sure, but, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess I'll let you kind of put that together. Now, the next one that we're going to cover as well is going to be Lifeline. This is a small change. I believe that this is the only change. Don't kill me if it's not. It says that you only get gold items here. You don't get an Evo cache. I believe this is more of a nerf, to be honest. This is the only thing I could really highlight. They said that there was a change to Lifeline. This is the only thing I could find. If somebody else says otherwise, then you know what to go look for. But everything I tested, the perks all look the same. The ultimate looked the same. The tactical looked like it healed the same. So I really don't know, besides that, what else they changed. But hey, it was listed there. Now, Caustic got a little bit of love in terms of the barrels. You probably noticed them earlier whenever I was throwing them down. But for teammates, they're now green. And for enemies, they're now red. So a little bit of a quality of life change. Nothing else seems like it was adjusted. If there was, I apologize, but this seems to be like the largest overhaul that I could find when it came to Caustic. Now, Rampart, this was definitely one of the more interesting ones. So Rampart, her ultimate is pretty much like Vantage. So over time, meaning off drop, you get, you can pretty much get just 44 bullets. And you get multiple charges to put down multiple Sheilas. Now, you can't keep more than one down. I believe before, I want to say you were able to keep multiple down. But now you can't. You just put one down and that's kind of it. But it charges up. You see how fast that charges there? And the reason for that is that, we'll kind of talk through some of this as it's going, is that when you drop off and you're playing as, let's say, Vantage, you usually get like 1 bullet at the start and you can start doing some damage and everything. Then the pressure here is to pretty much always fear Sheila. So the minute that you essentially drop, let's say you put down some walls and you're maintaining pressure, and let's say, oh my gosh, I'm out of ammo. Guess what? I have 44 bullets. Now, the downside you'll see in the bottom right, it's not charging anymore, so you have to put Sheila away. So you pull Sheila away and you just kind of vibe for a little bit, then it continues to charge. But it's one of those things that you just kind of maintain and just don't really pay a whole lot of attention to, and you pull it back out again, look, 60 bullets. So, but for better or for worse, whether you like it or not, I really think that's strong because it gives you the power of Sheila pretty early on. Just don't run around with Sheila, essentially, and I think you're pretty much golden. So again, with all the control changes, picking up stuff remotely, and then having that extra additional shield, and then of course with the LMG changes, I guess we'll give a sneak peek right here, just so you see what that looks like. Hey, look, I got an arm shield like Gibraltar, and you're curious in the other video, and you see this. Wow, that's insane. You're literally giving all the power to LMG users this season, plus the amazing reloads, and yeah, that's pretty crazy. And you pull it out, look, I'm at 122 now. That's pretty crazy. The timing of that is insane. So again, if we just quickly recap, we had Vantage buff, Crypto buff going off the grid, Wattson buff as well. We understand Control Legends, Seer, 2 Tacticals, Ballistic is also the next one. So again, I have notes. Now this one I'm just going to overlay some of the footage, and this is whenever I was playing with Tony. I believe the only change I can notice is with the extra bullet whistler, well I guess in general just the whistler, how much damage it does. So you see that it does 20, but when you overlay the footage, whenever they overheat, it does 30, and then if you do 2 whistlers, you essentially could do 100 damage total if somebody was just keep trying to blast you, maybe they missed or whiffed, and they can literally just burn through most of their HP relatively quickly, and that's... Wow, yeah, Ballistic, I mean, that could be a power creep right there. Maintaining pressure, yeah, that'll make somebody either stop shooting, or if they want to shoot, I mean, there's that consequence there, which is pretty insane. We've already covered Caustic, we covered Alter, Lifeline, Rampart, and now let's discuss the Recon Legends changes. So let's discuss that next. So the interesting part, I'm gonna have to showcase gameplay so you understand this change a little bit more. Because when you ADS, everyone looks red. That's called threat vision. So this is listed here on the profile right here. Gain threat vision when aiming down sights. This one's really interesting, especially in game, because you already have that battle sense, which we're going to talk about right after the recon changes, right now, like just in a second. But threat vision gives you that aim down sights. It's pretty much like being in a Bloodhound Ultimate. It gives you that nice visual. It is so nice, especially for an MNK player and you deal with visual clutter. Now, keep in mind that the threat vision disappears when they go in smoke or they go behind cover. You can't just always see through walls. That's not how it works. Now, the other change that happens here is that beacons only go 500 meters instead of seeing the whole map. So they definitely nerfed that there. They activate much faster. It's so instantaneous, I was not ready for it. And it only gives 75 Evo. So I'm going to overlay that on screen. If the Evo number is incorrect, then I'll put a little text overlay that it is incorrect. And then there you have it. So the next one that we're going to cover while we're here on the footage is that you gain something called Battle Sense. It's kind of like solos, but all the game modes have this, and that I found that very interesting. After a certain range, you don't see that anymore, and it doesn't apply to smoke, and it disappears when somebody goes behind cover. But if you damage somebody, let's say if you're a recon, and this applies to all legends get battle sense, all legends, every single one of them, they all get battle sense, and it happens in all game modes. If you damage somebody, you see the amount of HP that they have. It's I mean, it's a change. And so if you check out all my gameplay, you're probably like, what in the world is that? Applies to everything. It's in ranked, it's in the revival mode, it's in everything. And if you're curious about what revival mode is, check out the gameplay. You essentially just keep spawning until the very end, and it's almost like no repercussion. Just keep spawning until if your squad gets completely wiped before the respawn thing happens, and that sucks. But if you happen to get a knock, it helps revive teammates faster for them to come in, so there's an incentive to keep doing damage and not just keep running away from a fight. There's an incentive, but that's the whole game mode there. The next thing that they changed are new bins on the map. So the one, it takes about 15 seconds to open. It is crazy. Mythic items hold gold and care package items inside of it. And then also, I mean, it's a sick bin that comes up towards the end of the mode. And you see that's on the new map, E-District. If you're curious, if you haven't heard about that, that's crazy. Go check that out. You also have yellow and gold bins to replenish your items. Awesome. And also at the halfway point in the round, there are, you know, if you have trouble with loot, guess what? All the bins get replenished. Yeah, so loot problem is essentially is helped a ton with that, which is, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, anyways, I think that covers just about that portion there. If you're probably wondering what has been removed from the care package and what has been put in, the R99. Let's take a look at it. The R99 does about, give or take 13 to the body. Let's just kind of showcase those numbers here. 13, 16. These count as different values whenever you're hitting the outside and stuff like that. Let's take a look. And the spread, I guess you could say it's like the old R99. It's kind of hard to tell. But hey, it's in the care package. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, to be honest. I think that another weapon could have been thrown in. I guess for those that love the R99 and want it in its OG status, but ammo goes really, really, really fast. And now just to cover the Hemlock, just so you understand the Hemlock changes, it has been reduced by 1 damage, going from 20 to 19. Need to also make sure to double check this and test it just so we understand its full amount of damage. But from my notes, it was reduced by 1 damage. And of course, the Flatline as well, when you take a look at the Flatline, has been reduced by 1 bullet in the mag. They had mentioned that the Hipfire was tightened. which is, I guess, debatable. So then we see, you know, without the mag is 19. Whenever you put the mag on, it's 23. Whenever you put the blue mag, it is 27. Whenever you have purple, then we're back, instead of 30, we're on to 29. I think that's kind of a strange change, but hey, there it is. And then, of course, the Hipfire on the Havoc has been reduced. So you can't really do much at a distance with it, but of course, I don't really know if anybody's hip-firing at a distance. When you're close range, it's kind of where you put all the bread and butter. So I guess I still think it could have used a point of damage, probably reduction overall, but hey, I still use the Havoc in the playtest, and that thing is still crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It is still insane. Now, what we're going to discuss next is going to be the Peacekeeper and Mastiff changes. So what they did is they removed the number of pellets that these guns blast, and they traded it off by increasing or tightening the spread. So when you look, the spread on the Peacekeeper looks completely different. So we're going to kind of look at like a, see there? It's not in that like weird star X shape. Look at the pattern. It's very different. I mean, right off the rip, you know that that's different, okay? Like you can't, there's no refuting that. That is very different. It's almost like a little triangle. But they've removed the number of pellets to create its consistency when using a shotgun. The Mastiff is the same boat. It's a little bit of a tighter spread with less pellets to give it some of that consistency when blasting at close range. So instead of you, hopefully this will solve some of the problems of people whiffing with the shotguns and garner more of that consistency back. Let me know your thoughts on that. This is a big change, considering like a pattern of a shotgun has changed. You can see the pellet damage, just the way it looks right there, even when you damage. See that pattern? Very different. And also the pattern there, close range, is a lot tighter. And I'll zoom in on that. I'll zoom in just so you can see it. Ready? A lot tighter of a pattern there. Very different pattern there. It's crazy. That is definitely a huge change. So just to recap here, we've covered a lot of the changes when it comes to nerfs on weapons. These are always a little tricky. Hemlock has been, they also said the rate of fire was slightly changed as well to the Hemlock. It's gonna be hard to notice that one if that one is true based on my notes. I know the point of damage, that one's a lot more obvious. Shotguns, we talked about spread, Havoc, Hipfire, the LMGs with a new hop-up covered in a different video, R99, EVA 8 on the floor, R99 in care package, disruptor rounds gone, Flatline, and of course, let's top it all off now with, now the EVA 8 went into the floor loot, but they also gave it the boosted loader, and we're going to talk about the ammo changes because there's a lot of ammo changes to also kind of cover here that did change. So you can see the damage. Let's take a look from before. I mean, of course it was going to get a change, right? They also made a lot of changes to the shotguns. So that's really important that we're going to discuss. But hey, EVA 8's back on the ground, and then you got that faster reload for the boosted loader. Because the disruptors, by the way, you're probably looking over here is like, what is missing? The disruptors are gone. Yeah, no more disruptors for the alternator. Kind of feel bad because this gave a lot of power to the alternator. And I feel like this is one of the weaker guns. I feel, because really, honestly, the disruptors on the alternator were really nasty. I don't think anybody complained about them either. I think they were pretty nice. Well, that's that. Now, LMGs, like we discussed, has a new hop-up. We covered that in the other video. The ammo stack changes. It's been a hot minute since we've had ammo stack changes in the game adjusted, and here they are. And they're going to be a little different. Vantage just wants to keep talking, right? Let's go to, but let's take a look at the ammo stacks, okay? And I'm going to change to a Assault Legend so you can take a look at them afterwards. So Light now has an ammo stack of 72. Energy now has an ammo stack of 54. If any of these are different and the same, you'll see them. Shotgun is 20. Heavy is now 60, and Sniper is 28. So now, if you're Assault Legend and you're grabbing a little bit more ammo, I mean, you'll be used to it, but I just want to showcase it here so you understand that kind of like that feel and everything, so you kind of remember it. Just for consistency's sake, we'll cover it, and there we go. 42, 80, 30, 72, 96. In terms of just ammo stacks, it's nice to see ammo stack change, you know, especially with shotgun. I don't know why they increased it from 16. I mean, I always felt like 16 was more than enough, but hey, it's just kind of a good refresher just to know what you can carry, what you can't, and then looking at other legends and then taking a look at that. Kind of interesting. Now, what we're going to do, let's get into more of the changes. Now, another interesting change that has occurred is that aim flinch has been removed, but the zone still has it. So how this aim flinch pretty much works is whenever you have, let's say, no armor and a dummy or anybody, we're going to do the dummies here and they're just going to blast away at me, and you were to shoot and they hit you, then you're not going to have any more flinch. You won't have that increased recoil, that dramatic feel. So once again, see how it's just, the screen is just stable now? It's kind of strange that the screen is just stable. It's very interesting. It's like before you would get like this massive kick and recoil. For a lot of players, that was very annoying to have to deal with. And now it's gone from the game. You just saw it. Your camera doesn't jut around and fly up. You don't have recoil that goes, you just like fly around like crazy. It's gone now, which is, I guess, hey, I'm all for it. But keep in mind that this does still occur in zone, so that's something to be mindful of. But when you're in combat, if you're used to being shot and then pulling down even more dramatically, that just isn't there anymore, so don't stress about it. Now, mantle blocking has been removed. What mantle blocking is, I'm sorry if I don't really have footage for it, is whenever you're climbing and one of your friends are next to you, one person would get messed up and then they would fall down below and the animation wouldn't complete. But now, so in this footage, we're going to showcase when people climb together and mantle. So let's climb, Ross. Let's pretend, hey man, let's push, let's push.
Let's push, let's push.
See, yeah, it works. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, climb.
Oh,
yeah? No, I mean, no, that's what actually would kick you off. That's what would kick you off right there.
Normally you'd like hit my head or I'd hit yours.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you, like, yeah, you would slow me, but you don't anymore. Hey, they fixed it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, nice. Nice. So we're going to discuss already, and everything's timestamped. We're going to get into the legend changes, but first, one of the big ones that's actually coming is that Aim Assist has been nerfed by 25%. What I want to do is cut to Ross and get his opinion on this, because just so you understand the details, console lobbies are untouched. You guys are still at 0.6, but console lobbies who get into PC lobbies are going to get the nerf. Now, that means I believe everyone should be around 0.3. They said a 25% nerf, and I assume that's from 0.4 dropping down to 0.3. Maybe that value is going to be a little different, but they told us 25% overall nerf. So let me get some of the input of Ross, of him in the test range, so he can give you the better perspective of a controller player coming into PC lobbies and how that feels, and then we're going to hear from Tony. All right, Ross, so I already interviewed Tony to have his feedback. How do you feel about Aim Assist? 25% nerf. You spend a lot of time on controller. I don't, so I need your honest opinion so you give it to the community. Tony felt one way about it. How do you feel about it?
Okay, if I'm being very honest, this might be a hot take. I don't think it got nerfed at all. I actually...
percent? That's a big number, right?
It is, but it's also not.
Okay, explain.
Okay, so honestly, at the end of the day, if you play the game a lot, you're... especially like as a roller player, it doesn't take you that long to adjust to a change like this. So I think that even for the people who might feel like they're affected, they will literally forget that Aim Assist was changed probably 20 minutes in. Like, I won't lie, my very first game, and I don't know if you're going to use it in this video or another one because I know we talked about it, but I had a 4K. I think I had the only 4K of the whole day out of anybody in the event. But
that's crazy. Yeah, and your roller,
and it was my first game on, and at the beginning I was like a little bit off, but it took me 4 minutes, and by the end of it I was like, okay, like it feels a little bit different, but it doesn't feel nerfed. Like, it's just a slight change. Like, you have to actually Dre and Drum, they explained it a little bit better when I was talking to them. Dre was playing too on roller a little bit, and he said it feels more like now the Aim Assist isn't guiding you, but you're guiding the Aim Assist. And I was like, that's kind of a...
maybe for a skill player you're gonna be fine, but maybe for other players they're gonna struggle. I'm not trying to do Tony under the bus, because listen,
no.
Right? I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel like throughout my matches say that it was changed that much. Everything felt pretty normal, pretty regular. I also will say though, I play on a little bit of a higher sense. I've never had the like the 4-3 experience, the 4-3 linear experience that everybody is playing. Most of my ADSs, I have pro optics, and most of them are 5. So I've always been on a higher sense. So maybe it does feel different for people who are on a lower sensitivity. Maybe that nerf hits them harder. But for me, it genuinely felt like nothing. But
do I look like gun ready over here just to change?
You look crazy. What do you? Oh wait, let me get this too.
For the dual akimbo. Listen, I'm covering another video, but I just want to showcase what it looks like. Do I look insane? Do I look like, dude? You look mad.
Yeah, I'm ready for war. I look like have like the freaking brass knuckles on. low key from afar. I look, I'm about to run up on you and start swinging.
Hey, be sure to check out his video in the description. We got a lot of changes, such as the Akimbo, and then even the Wattson changes and the Gen to cover in my own personal video. Support Ross. I love my man Ross, another fellow Wattson main. So we'll get back into the video and the changes. So now that I gave you the news about Aim Assist, I brought Tony in. So I'm giving you Ross's perspective, and now I'm going to give you Tony's because he actually plays on console, which has a bit of higher Aim Assist at 0.6, PC has 0.4, and now we're dropping to approximately, I believe, like 0.3. Tony, going to PC lobbies, feeling this, what was your quick thoughts? How did it feel?
I immediately started missing shots. Like we got into a fight early on, and I was hip firing, and I just noticed it right away. It took me about like what 4 or 5 games to adjust. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little shocking. I mean, there's a lot of people, you know, every day that are converting from console to PC. A lot of them also, let's be honest, probably aren't on 120 frames neither. True. So going from the frame rate change, as well as aim assist change is going to be a little shocking. I don't think it's impossible, but I honestly think that it's a lot healthier for the game.
I have to ask you as well, what would be your one tip to those players that are on console that happen to be in a PC lobby if they play with PC friends? What would be your tip before they play with them?
I mean, yeah, just be ready for that adjustment. I wouldn't get upset. I would just look at it as a challenge and an opportunity because one thing's for sure is, like, you know how it is. People in PC lobbies, it's going to be a little bit more competitive. It's a bigger investment into the game, right? So just know that. I would just say my tip is, you know, be prepared to be challenged, because
awesome.
that's what's happening.
Well, Tony, we got a lot of other changes to cover, and I'll definitely have a link down to the description of your channel as well, because I'm sure, man, there's a lot of changes, right?
There's a lot, man. They cooked this season. I think that's a step in the right direction. Some people might not think, oh, we're making a comeback, but I think that this is definitely a step in the right direction. Only time can tell. Awesome. Let's get right back to the changes. Another quick change is that you might have noticed that the Deathbox layout is different. Here it is on screen. So let's discuss some of the ranked changes. And what I'll do is I'll just overlay some of the gameplay while we talk about these. High level ranked has been a big point of concern, and make sure they balance it out. They had mentioned that if you get 15th place, you're going to break even. I need to see more of this to understand it. They talked about anti-cheat and matchmaking will be announced in their efforts at a later date in an article. This includes skill-based matchmaking in pub matches. They said they understand players get frustrated with dealing with nothing but high-skill players, and matchmaking times are going to be reflective of that. Whether it's going to, sometimes it'll take longer, but of course you have to keep in mind your region and how many players are there, and so forth. So that's going to be interesting. There's also another mode that has come out. Well, players have skins and new things to unlock, and something called a welcome pass. If you make a new account in season 22, you get access to what is called a welcome pass. Now, everyone has access to this, but I found it interesting. It's called Bot Royale. It's a new mode to go into and learn the game, test movement, test loadouts. This mode, from right now, when we play test it, was just World's Edge. I don't know if it's going to rotate, but this mode does not offer any experience, no badges, no progressions. You get it all the way up until, I guess you can level up to level 10 from what they said. But bots are not much of a challenge, but for new players who have never really played a game or FPS titles are going to put up a fight. So it's a great spot to learn, and it's a safe place to learn. And maybe you're trying to practice your movement while practicing against targets while moving around. It's a safe place to play. And that's something that hasn't really existed in the game, and that we all have it. And orientation mode is essentially going away. So man, this is a pretty long video. We covered a lot here. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to just double check all my notes and make sure we covered everything. Check out the full gameplay video. I highly recommend that if you're curious about the new map, Akimbo, the new hop up, because I think it's pretty insane. You know, we talked about aim assist, flinch, mantling, all the legend changes, all the gun changes. If you're curious about how the modes work, I'll cover that in the other video as well. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. I'm pretty pumped and excited, if you can't tell. I think we're in the step in the right direction. I hope the anti-cheat continues to get bolstered down. I'm looking forward to the article, fine-tuning skill-based matchmaking. I'm happy about the battle pass being reverted. You know, we're still going to always be innovative and keep pushing boundaries. And if you stay with me on the journey, please subscribe to the channel. I'm here for you guys to talk about Apex, the good, the bad. Every stream, every Saturday, I'll be in the Discord, just sitting there just to talk with you guys. And then just give me your woes and concerns and how you feel about everything. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this Saturday. I'll hop in the Discord and give me your thoughts on what you felt about these changes. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all in the next one.